However, their joy became sorrow when Queen Mojisola gave birth, and the baby was no human but a tortoise.
Welcome to Iyagba's Epic Tales.
Once upon a time, there was a king named King Adejare. King Adejare has 3 wives. The first was Queen Aduni, the second, Queen Mojisola, and the third and last, Queen Wura. All 3 wives have been unable to give the king an heir. This bothers King Adejare so much because according to the custom and law of their village, a king without an heir for 15 years would be dethroned and the crown passed to another family. He had ruled for 11 years now and fears greatly that the 15th year would come without him having an heir. And this is the reason why he married more wives after Queen Aduni, his first wife. He had carefully selected Queen Mojisola and Queen Wura because they were both from 2 families amongst the other families in the kingdom whose women were known and said to be highly fertile. For Queen Wura, her great-grandmother had 29 children for her husband. The grandmother had 23 children, and Wura's mother had 18 children, consisting of 3 sets of twins inclusive, which Queen Wura herself was part of. In the same way, Wura's sister, both older and younger, who are married, had also given their husband sets of twins and more children. But Wura, who has been married to King Adejare, was yet to even bear one child. After marrying Queen Wura, King Adejare lamented as he realized that the problem could be from him. But what the actual problem was is what King Adejare does not know. Every new season, he would make sacrifices to the gods and pray that they bless him with a child. But year after year, he was still childless. One evening, a very old woman came to the village. According to her, she was a traveler and on a journey. The woman looked so old and held a stick for support. She went to the palace and begged for a place to pass the night before continuing her journey the next day. King Adejare, being someone with compassion, asked his maids to take care of the old woman, give her food to eat and a place to sleep. The next morning, King Adejare tried discouraging the old woman from leaving, saying that she was very old to travel all by herself. He asked her to stay for a few more days so she could have a proper rest. But the old woman insisted that she must go because she had a destination and must be there on time. Now, because of the oddity about the old woman, Queen Aduni and Queen Wura were not comfortable with her presence since she came to the palace the evening before. How can such old woman who can barely walk travel from village to village on her own? They said to each other. She may be a witch on the run, Queen Wura said, and so they convinced their husband the king not to make her stay. Our husband, if she insists that she must go, please let her go. After all, we fear her presence may even attract evil spirits to us, they told the king. Queen Mojisola had nothing to say about it, as she believes that the king was doing the right thing as it ought to be. She tried to talk to her co-wives against their perception about the old woman, but they maintained their notion and would not listen. The old woman, before she left, decided to help King Adejare. She revealed to him that many seasons ago, his grandmother, out of greed, had gone to an evil god to help her remain the only one amongst the king's wives to have a son for her husband, who was King Adejare's grandfather and also king then. And with the help of the evil god, she caused her co-wives pain and not to have children of their own. And now, the spirits of the co-wives are angry and are responsible for King Adejare's condition. The old woman told King Adejare that, however, because he is innocent and has a good heart, the curse will be lifted and he will be blessed with a child few months from then, and that the child would grow to be a great king also. Curious, King Adejare and his 3 wives asked who it was that would bear the king this child and the heir. The one amongst your 3 wives who would first accept and welcome me warmly when I come again would be the one the gods would bestow with the honor, the old woman replied. Then she left. I am the king's first and longest abiding wife, and should be the one who should have the honor of giving the king his heir, Queen Aduni said to herself. And so, to ensure that the old woman's prophecy does not pass her by, Queen Aduni paid 4 men who are vigilantes and night watchers to keep watch at the village's border and entrance, 2 to keep watch during the day, and the other 2 at night in the next weeks and months. Their instruction was to watch out for the old woman and alert her when she is back to the village. She also paid some palace guards who kept watch at the palace gates to do the same. Queen Mojisola, also with the desire to be the honored one to bear the king's heir, went to pray to the gods and offered sacrifices to favor her and make her see and receive the old woman first when next she comes visiting. And of course, Queen Wura would also desire to be the one who would bear the king's heir. I mean, if you're one of the king's wife, wouldn't you want the same? And so Queen Wura, just like her other co-wives, also made a move to help her be the one the prophecy would favor. Queen Wura went to a diviner to find out and tell her the exact time the old woman would return to the village and to the palace so that she would be prepared for her return. However, the diviner was unable to, as he confessed that the old woman's power was greater than his, and she had refused him access in the spirit world to get such information about her. Disappointed but more determined, Queen Wura went to see another juju priest, and after asking her to perform some sacrifices, he revealed to her that the old woman would return to the village and to the palace in 21 market weeks from that time. And so, the 3 queens, having done what they could do, waited patiently for the return of the old woman. One day, a young girl came to the palace to beg for a job in the palace. She told them that she was from the neighboring village and had lost her parents, and that her mean uncle took everything and threw her out of her father's compound. The girl was looking really dirty and poor. "We are not in need of any more helps in the palace. The palace is overcrowded with so much maids than is needed, so go look for work somewhere else," Queen Aduni told her. But the girl begged, saying that no one was willing to help and offer her a job in the village. She begged to work in the king's farm since there were so much maids in the palace already, so she could at least get some food to eat daily. "Please go. Must the king and this palace employ the whole village to work in royal service just because we want to be good king and queens to our people?" Queen Wura cut in. Queen Mojisola, always one who is slow to speak and air her opinion, eventually spoke. "It is okay, my fellow queens. She said no one in the village is willing to employ her. I know we have enough help already, but I can still have her to be part of my personal maids," she said. And so, she sought the permission of the king to accept the girl as her personal maid. The name of the girl was Atinuke. Atinuke served Queen Mojisola dutifully. Few months later, it was discovered that Queen Mojisola was pregnant. How did it happen? Queen Aduni and Queen Wura asked each other. It was a wonder to them because the old woman did not return to the palace as she promised to. So, there was no chance that Queen Mojisola would have seen her and had received her first. They concluded that the old woman was probably a liar and had deceived them. Whatever the case was, they were pained that it was not either of them who was pregnant with the king's heir. Queen Mojisola was also surprised herself, as she had also looked forward to receiving the old woman because she believed that only then would she be able to bear the king's heir. But whatever it was, she was grateful and sang praises to the gods. King Adejare, just like his wives, was also confused but however happy that he was finally going to have an heir. Queen Mojisola and the king spent the remaining months happy and expectant. However, their joy became sorrow when Queen Mojisola gave birth and the baby was no human but a tortoise. "Why would the gods tease and mock me this way?" King Adejare lamented. "The gods have dealt with me badly," King Mojisola cried. Well, once Queen Mojisola grieved, Queen Aduni and Queen Wura secretly laughed. The tortoise born by Queen Mojisola was taken to the evil forest and thrown away. Now, Atinuke, who had been with her mistress all through the time of her pregnancy, disappeared on the day Queen Mojisola bore a tortoise baby without trace. What a strange girl. Who knows? She may have been the one who have brought evil luck to her mistress, everyone said. Anyway, King Adejare concluded that it is probably the will of the gods for the crown to leave his family, but he felt so pained that it had to happen in his reign, and because of this, he locked himself most times in his chambers and stopped speaking to any of his wives. He also would not take another wife as advised by his friends and some members of the chiefs in council. All he did was continue to lock himself in his chambers most of the time while he waited for the 3 years to which he must have reigned for 15 years without an heir to complete, and when he would eventually be dethroned. The 3 years came, and the day for King Adejare to step down from the throne and hand over to a new king. There was sadness written all over the faces of the people as they all loved King Adejare and felt bad that he would be dethroned. The 3 queens were also very sad. Queen Mojisola felt worse than everyone else present in the palace. Just as the kingmaker was about to begin the process, they heard the voice of a woman spoke from behind. "King Adejare has an heir," the voice said loudly. The whole crowd turned around to see the person who had spoken, and right there, it was Atinuke. She walked to the front holding a little boy along with her. "This is King Adejare's son and heir," Atinuke said. Everyone stood still as they were shocked by Atinuke's reappearance and what she had just said. Atinuke walked up to Queen Mojisola and handed over the little boy with her to her. "Here is your son," Atinuke said to Mojisola, causing everyone to be more confused. Knowing that everyone was confused, Atinuke made haste to get rid of their confusion. Atinuke revealed that Queen Aduni and Queen Wura, out of envy, both went to a witch doctor to help them harm Queen Mojisola and her unborn baby. The witch doctor told them that Queen Mojisola's baby could not be harmed, and neither could she because she is the mother of the baby. The witch doctor, however, told them that it could change the destiny and form of the baby when it is born, and so gave them a juju powder to that effect. The witch doctor instructed them to rub Queen Mojisola with the powder on the day she goes into labor, which the 2 queens did. However, Atinuke said that she was aware of all the 2 queens' evil plans from the beginning, and so she protected Queen Mojisola from the power of the evil powder. She explained that when Queen Mojisola delivered the baby, she blocked the vision of the midwife for a second so she could swap the baby with a tortoise in the hands of the midwife. Queen Aduni and Queen Wura admitted that all Atinuke said was the truth. They pleaded that they were only jealous of Queen Mojisola at the time and did not know that their action would cause the king to shut them and every other person out. They said that they had hoped that they would also get pregnant like Mojisola and the king would be happy again, and did not expect to lose the crown. They cried and pleaded for mercy. In the midst of all that was happening, the kingmaker and chiefs asked Atinuke how it is that she was able to know about the other queen's plan and how she was able to save Queen Mojisola's baby. And just then, Atinuke transformed to the old woman who had visited the palace before. She revealed that she was sent by Olodumare, the creator of the universe, to come help King Adejare's household because he was a good king and should no longer pay for his grandmother's sin. But the other queens had mistreated her because she was a stranger twice. First was when she came as an old woman, and the second time as an helpless young girl. She explained and advised everyone present that it is important to treat people well and fairly, for by so doing, one may just be attending to an angel and would get the blessings that comes with it. Queen Aduni and Queen Wura were stripped of their titles and sent away from the palace. King Adejare and Queen Mojisola named their son Adekunle. Prince Adekunle grew up to be a great man as prophesied, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story and have learned a thing or two from it. I would love to know. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.